or good evening, or if you're in the Pacific Rim, it's actually Super Saturday morning. I am Bruce, aka the guy in the blue shirt, or Mr. Simpler, Faster, Better. And I am in Phoenix today, and I am so honored to welcome Miss Veronica all the way from the UK, Manchester, UK, and it's almost morning time for her. So thank you so much, Veronica.
Thank you.
Taking the time, and it was great just to catch up with you offline. So
yes, we were catching up.
We were, yeah. So tell everybody a little bit about yourself, and we'll talk about some of the things that you love and some of the things that you don't love so much, and we'll see where the conversation takes us, right?
Yeah, let's flow with it.
Yeah, go with the flow,
so,
right?
Of course, most people know me as V Power Coach. V being Veronica, Power being the power I had to step into once, because V Power was once V Powerless. At least that's how she felt. Right. That's a whole long other story for maybe another time. But putting that all together today, I help coaches, consultants, and I call them impactpreneurs, those that really want to make a difference in the world. I help them, unearth their gold dust of experience, of passion, of skills, of gifts, and package that into a transformational online course that allows them to have a ripple effect in the world, that allows them to serve more powerfully, with more clarity, with more focus, and with more confidence. So that's in a nutshell, and that has a huge part or a huge role with my educational background, because I used to be a teacher back in Poland for over 10 years. And course creation, lesson planning, program development schemes was a huge part of what I was doing personally back then. So that's my gold dust, right? And of course, being the deep dive mindset coach that I was also trained to be, I add that into the course creation process. So there's a lot of deep diving, and the essence from which we create our courses are really so deep.
Right. Yeah, and that's awesome. So I just want to say, Gracie Ruth Melendez, who we were just talking about offline, she said, hello, hello. Oh, and Kenny Dunner's in the house, Mr. Flavor the Saver, which I know he's a big fan of yours. So thanks, Kenny, for hopping on. And yeah, and it's interesting. We were also talking offline about my thoughts about strategy and the way that you said what you said. To me, that's kind of how do I share my legacy instead of all of that experience and happenings over my career, either not being shared with others that might enjoy it or may not enjoy it, but at least learn something from it, right? So to me, it's about finding a vehicle for that legacy, and people do it in different ways. And I was, tying some of the loose ends or dots together for you so that you knew I was pretty strategic about my intention. And it's why, I was saying why selfishly I invited you to be a guest. And so, we'll see where it goes down the road, right?
Absolutely. A big part of course creation, most people think is just about, asking yourself, where is my area of expertise? And then create a course from that. If that's your only kind of measure, you may end up being burnt out and creating a course that you're not feeling and you'll not show up powerfully for. Because sometimes what we have expertise in is not always what we're passionate about. So it's about finding the intersection between our passion, our knowledge, and our experience. And that intersection, the sweet spot, is the essence that we need to. It's like finding a needle in a haystack.
Good old British term there. And actually, we didn't quite finish where my intersection and my passion came from. I forgot to tell you, when I was talking about TikTok, I'm on there Simpler, Faster, Better. But my real core passion is I am addicted to IndyCar racing. So I love to take all the passion and all the energy and all of the lessons learned that those the drivers, the teams, the volunteers, I mean, they are so highly tuned, no pun intended, like the cars, they go fast, they're well tuned, but all the teams are so highly tuned, and So what I try and do is I try and extract everyday learning lessons for people that, you know, they might be into car racing like I am, but they also might see a reason to take a lesson learned and go apply it to their business. So that's my passion, is the intersection between all of those things. And I love it. I just love the sound, the smell, the energy. I mean, everything. I'm just addicted nutcase, you know, about it.
I feel it. And I love that you say that, because it just reminds me of my passion for dancing as well.
Correct.
And how I incorporate that into how I communicate my messages and my expertise. So yeah, we do have more in common than we even knew.
Yeah. Well, you know, I was saying to you about the other selfish piece about the people I invite on LinkedIn Lives is to learn. And there's always common ground that you don't know that you have with somebody until we get into a free-flowing discussion. And I know you love to free flow in your dancing mode. And so I just figured, hey, if you're willing to free flow in the convo, then we'll see where it takes us, you know?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So it's funny because I also have some other awesome connections that love dancing too. Diana Nguyen is the other one, which I know.
Yes, Diana, dancing Diana.
Dancing Diana. I know you guys exchange comments from time to time. I catch them. So she's, and I've actually met Diana in person. She came to Los Angeles a couple of years ago, and I met her at a LinkedIn in-person local when we were doing in-person meetings way back then. So
I miss those days.
Yeah,
I really miss those days.
Yeah. Well, I'm actually going to be going to 𝒑𝒂𝒈𝒆 Social Connect next Tuesday evening. She's relaunching her in-person meetings here in the Phoenix, Arizona district. So that'll be fun. I'm going to get to meet a whole bunch of new linkies or new LinkedIn people. Yeah, I know. And Tisha's, she's a great example. You know, Tisha and I started cross commenting, and then we did a couple of Zooms, and then I was a guest on her show, and she's been a guest on my show. And then fast forward to a couple of months ago, she actually helped me find the rented house that I'm now living in. So yeah, full circle. You know, you never know with connections where and how.
Amazing.
Yeah, you never know what's going to happen if you invest in the relationship. And you know, we were also talking offline. You're not always going to get on with everybody, and that's okay. You don't need to get on with everybody. You just need to get on with the people that respect and trust you, and vice versa. So that's it.
Yeah, obviously from what you just said, you know, nurturing those relationships online and then taking them offline and really building them can lead to such amazing deals and opportunities and growth and friendships and so on.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I have 𝒂𝒈 𝒦𝒂𝒚 to thank for that as well, because not only does she turn my words into visual stories for me, she is a proponent at offline relationship building. So I've learned a lot from 𝒂𝒂. And actually I met 𝒂𝒂 also at the Los Angeles LinkedIn local meetings when we were having them. So, and then 𝒂𝒂 and I have done some LinkedIn local virtuals during the pandemic, but they're just not the same. You know, they don't have the same juicy energy as the in-person event. So
yeah, I get that. You know, it's just like coaching online, you know, before the pandemic, before I even started online a few years ago, I was pretty much offline networking. I had a workspace in the city center where I would take in my clients. So that physical face-to-face interaction was something that I actually loved. But one of my fears was it going to be the same online? And the truth is, it actually can be, once you really find a way to build and nurture and communicate in such a way that the two parties are, you know, on the same page. And I think an online coaching experience could be as good.
Right.
And just from the coach's side, it really requires a lot more deeper listening, a lot more observation, because we also look at your breathing, like what was that sigh about, right? What was behind that? And we have to really notice a bit more
Right.
online. So it's quite different.
Yeah. Well, I'm a pretty intuitive communicator, so I miss that feeling the energy when you're
Yeah.
within maybe 6 feet proximity of somebody in person. You can pick up on their vibe and their energy, and I know you're all about that with everything you do. So maybe you could share some tips. I mean, I have not been able to recreate through Zoom or through live. I've not still been able to recreate that magic that can happen in person. So what will be a
Well,
couple of tips that you might
the
have?
first and foremost would be really to identify who this soulmate client or ideal client or who this tribe member is. Because it's only then that we will attract the right people into our energy fields. And it's only then that we can experience and we can have the best experiences. All the experiences I've had with the people that have reached out to me or that I work with is because they felt my vibe and they felt connected in a way. So that automatically created a bridge that when they did cross over and we did meet, it was so natural and so seamless and effortless. So the experience, was very much a pleasant one. So once we really start with being ourselves, showing up as our real selves, just as we are, whatever that looks like for you. For me, it's really about my core values and how I manifest them. My core values, I have many, but just to
Right.
mention a few, of course, one of them is fun. It
Yeah,
has to be
we've
fun.
noted. We've noted. You are the fun lady, that's for
It
sure.
has to be fun. Business has to be fun. Who said has to be boring and all? Yeah, it can be fun and it can be
Right.
serious fun too. When I
Sure.
say fun, doesn't mean not serious because that's the misconception about fun. It's very much serious, but fun, serious if there's anything like that. Well, in my world, there is. It
Right.
has to, yeah, I mean, I'm all about fun. I'm all about inspiration and empowerment and transformation and transparency, communication, right? Loyalty, trust. So all these things, that's how I have to show up because that's the
Right.
kind of person I'm going to attract into my world.
Mm-hmm.
Those that are also fun, those that are also inspiring and love empowering and also love, that free, that have that free spirit. So then
Mm-hmm.
we vibe so easily. And yeah, so that the Zoom calls is like, oh, like we've known each other for ages.
Right. Yeah, I call them my vibe tribe, not
Vibe tribe.
it's just that it works for me. But
Yeah.
stereotypically, I mean, I was brought up in a very conservative UK business environment. I was there for 39 years and I was still in the you got to wear a shirt and tie and all that jazz even when I left in 1994. So what do you think about the perspective? Do you think it has changed, that people have become a little bit more open to using fun as a tool? Because I know the stereotypically viewpoint from all of my directors and senior leaders where if you were having fun, you were goofing off and not working.
So absolutely, I can tell you from an experienced teacher, a
Mm-hmm.
master teacher. I did my master's in educational sciences, and
Okay.
I majored in early childhood education, and I also taught in the adult sector,
Mm-hmm.
and I also taught in organizations because I was working with a language school. I
Mm-hmm.
had a CELTA certificate, which I did in addition, and the CELTA certificate is a certificate for teaching English as a second language to adults. So
Right.
we'd go into these organizations in Poland
Mm-hmm.
and we would craft programs and courses for their teams to develop their English communication skills.
Right.
And the thing is, we learn through experiencing
Yeah.
something, the concept. We learn through play. Children are the fastest learners, they say, not because they have something special in their brain at that time. No, it's just because they're free, they're
Mm-hmm.
fun, and they're open to
Right.
receiving. So applying those principles, learning through play, learning through an experience, that's how you create transformation. That's how you make an impact. That's how you become memorable. And that's how the students, at least my students that I was teaching back then, you know, progressed from, when I'm looking at the English ESL, English as a second language, progressed from
Right.
beginner level to intermediate level to advanced level to even proficiency level. We had to take them through all the stages of proficiencies
Right.
to their final exams, and that's how they learned. So I can definitely say things have changed today. I
Yeah.
see a lot of people waking up to the idea of edutainment, right? Where,
Edutainment. Oh, I
yes,
love that one. All right. A couple of new words I've heard today. Entertainment, and then you talked about a different type of entrepreneurship. So what was it?
impactpreneur. That's who I work with.
Impact. All right.
Impactpreneurs. Yes.
Love that.
So edutainment is a way of being memorable, is a way of being impactful, and it's a way of positioning yourself as, you know, the go-to person, because always you're going to be remembered.
Right.
Whenever I do my videos, either around a dance or some form of performing arts, and there's a message behind it, whenever somebody thinks about the concept, they'll remember my video. And I've heard that so many times. So
Yeah.
answering the question, absolutely. We have many disruptors that have changed the landscape of how we deliver value. And those that think they're being, that's goofy, I think those are old school. And absolutely, they're old school. And unfortunately, it's very dull and boring. And I can just feel sad
Yeah.
for somebody who cannot unleash the creative side of themselves, can't unleash that child who's curious of learning
Right.
and exploring.
Well, it's funny you should say that, because I've been traveling all this week, and I was catching up on some things. And I was, 𝒑𝒂𝒈𝒆, right?
Yes.
Raquel and Michael Ray. Well, she was
Yes.
doing a talk about being the queen of goofiness. So it's interesting that you should mention that.
Yeah, we had a conversation a few months ago, Raquel. Yes.
Yeah, she's super sharp. I mean, it's she comes across as this kind of goofy,
Absolutely.
but she's
But you see,
amazingly
that
sharp.
is the misconception, that if you're being goofy, that you can't be smart. That is such a shallow way of thinking.
Yeah, well,
Anybody who correlates or who associates being goofy with not smart, I feel sorry, because that is far from the truth. Somebody
right,
who's goofy is a very smart person, very sharp, very creative, very solution oriented, and can find quick ways of navigating the waters, because they're flexible.
right,
They can adjust. They have a quick way of thinking, and they can have a fun, innovative solution to a problem. So wow,
right.
more of goofy people out there.
Yeah. Well, it's our unique contribution, right? So,
Absolutely.
and I think again, we've talked before. It's really tapping into the core of what makes you unique and makes you different, because it's special to you, and so yeah, being able to deliver value from that to other people in lots of different ways. I mean, that's the trick, and that's what I was saying to you as well about lives. I mean, lives for me is like going to university every week, because I meet great people like yourself, and I've had 106 other great people in the last year to be on my show, and
Wow.
it's just amazing how much I learn from them and through them. And then also the follow-up is, you never know what you're going to get, right? You never know what somebody might see when they watch the replay afterwards, or you never know what somebody might say during the live. And it's all that unknown stuff that I think prepares us better to help other people, so
Yes, it's organic, it's fluid, it's it's in flow, it's in motion. We're creating.
right. So talking about organic and flow, I was sharing my woes about not being able to travel to England, unfortunately, but you got to go home, right, to Ghana
Yes.
recently. So what were what would you say were the main lessons learned? Because it had been a while, right, since you've been back to your family, as I recall from your posts. So how did they greet and see you in the new V-Power mode?
Well, there are a few reasons I went to visit. So it was the first year anniversary of my father's death,
Right.
and the Ashanti culture.
Mm-hmm.
We after a year, we celebrate the passing away of a loved one, and because of
Mm-hmm.
the COVID, we couldn't travel in 2019 when we were supposed to. So I went only 3 months ago. So that was one of the main reasons. And it was nice, of course, to get back with the family, go back to the village, because that's another place where I have a little project that
I saw.
would love to give back and create something memorable in the name of my father, because even though he was one of the elders in the village,
Right.
because of his health condition, his eyesight deteriorated by the time he passed away, and many other, issues with his health, he wasn't quite present there in the village. So I always feel, there's so much we could do as part of his legacy.
Right.
So so that's something I spoke to the elders back in the village. I had a whole documentary around that.
Yeah, I saw some of the clips. It was pretty impressive. So
we have two ideas now: either building a children's ward, or setting up solar panels in the clinic, so that at least when women are giving birth and the electricity goes off, which is very common. The doctor doesn't have to take out their phone and use the phone light to figure out what to do next. There is a system or a support system in the form of solar panels. So these are the two projects or ideas that we're working around. So that was, of course, the main reason. But another one was a bit of a rebrand, right? I had a whole photo shoot back in Ghana.
Yeah, very colorful. I love your traditional colors. And
yes.
So are they colors from your particular elders group, or how does that work? Or are they colors passed down for the village, or tell us a little bit more about that.
These are just they're called Ankara patterns, right?
Ankara,
and,
okay.
Yes, and they're colorful patterns and shapes and designs that make up the whole pattern.
Right.
And they're very colorful, and it's part of our culture, very vibrant and colorful.
So do you actually have your own Ankara then?
No, there's nothing like this is yours. No, these are just designs that are out there in the market that you can easily buy and sew something or buy from the shops. Yeah.
Hey, maybe you need one. Maybe you need to get a V-Power Ankara. That would really get your part, right?
Who knows? Haven't thought about that.
Hey, you never know. It could be something that simple, right? That it's like my thing with the guy in the blue shirt. Again, Gracie Ruth started that off because she couldn't ever remember my last name at the meetings, and I'd hear her say, "Oh, just go ask that guy in the blue shirt." And after a couple of times of her saying it, I thought, you know what, I'm just going to be playful and add it to my LinkedIn tagline, and it's stuck and taken on a life of its own ever since.
Yeah, the guy in the blue shirt.
I know.
Let's just say the guy in the blue. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I know. I mean, this color has always been my brand color, but I didn't have just saying it's your brand color is pretty boring. But the real life story where Gracie actually, said it out loud a couple of times, and I heard her say it. It's like, maybe that's pretty catchy. So, so yeah. And again, it's back to that finding people that you can be honest and open with. And, at first I thought it was quirky, but after a while, I was told, just get past yourself, Bruce, and just try it, So, so I tried it. So,
yes, and it works well.
Yeah. Oh, I love it. I mean, everybody remembers me. They don't have to remember my name, and it's funny because Brian Burke he's the guy in the blue suit. He's here in the USA.
Yes, yes, Brian. He's the Apple guy.
Yeah, the Apple guy.
The Apple guy, the blue guy.
Yeah, so he teases me every now and then about, you just got a shirt. I got the suit. Like, yeah, you do. But hey, we all stick together, right? We're all good friends, offline or online, and that's the key thing. I love LinkedIn because of, I get a little bit of nastygram stuff, but very little. And so it's a great platform for being supportive and, collaborative and all those other great things, right?
Oh yes, LinkedIn. I call it my virtual office. That's where I hang out.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah, it's my virtual university. So
Yeah.
similar. Yeah, I'm all about, if I can learn, prosper, and grow by using LinkedIn and a little bit on YouTube, not so much. And
Mm.
as I said to you, TikTok is a whole new experience for me. I need to get some help mastering that a little bit more. So
Mm.
I think Gillian Mulholland's going to help me. Gillian's, Gillian, right? Do you know Gillian
Uh,
Mulholland from
I'm sure.
Australia? Okay.
The,
Well, if you don't, you guys should hook up. Gillian's a lot of fun as well, and she's
the name sounds so familiar. I'm sure if I saw her picture, I'd know.
yeah, she's an amazing singer. So she sings.
Jillian, is she blonde, curly hair?
Yeah.
Of
Jill
course,
sings. Yeah,
yeah.
Gillian. Yeah.
I
So
haven't seen her in
Gillian,
a while.
huh? No,
Ha-
she's. You should go see what she's doing on
She's on
TikTok and
YouTube.
YouTube.
On YouTube, yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
she's
Yeah, I
amazing.
remember her. She used to sing a lot with, even with Diana and
Yeah.
Ahmed.
Jill sings, and well, Diana and Gillian go surfing together still
Uh,
when they're not on lockdown. They've been on lockdown for a long time again in Australia. It's not been good for them. So,
yeah.
like others. Well, so what have you got coming up? What would you like to focus on, to tell people about what does the next quarter look like for you as we head towards Christmas here?
Oh boy, I'm just cruising.
Cruising.
Yes, so with me, how I like to experience growth is like this, right? There was once a time back in Poland when we had our branding company and this import export company.
Right,
We kind of like we rocket like the growth was so fast. I was like, whoa, what's going on? We were not even prepared mentally and even emotionally for that kind of scaling up. So
right,
I like to take my growth now in my own hands, steady. So I'm
right,
just cruising. So right now, the clients I'm receiving, the impact I'm making, the collaboration, the people I'm meeting, that just has to continue. And I'm enjoying it. I'm taking it all in. I'm not rushing anywhere. I'm just like really enjoying and taking it all in.
all right. So
So
what would
when it comes to
be
that, I'm cruising through up to the end of the year. I'm cruising.
a couple of standout moments in your cruise control mode in the last couple of
So
months?
one of the highlights would definitely be one of my courses, my personal story, which I have also packaged into an online course. And
Uh-huh.
I'm an online course creation strategist, right? And I
Sure.
help people
Yeah.
create their courses. And I have this personal story of my disconnection with my feminine energy when I was in a relationship with a narcissist for so many years and escaping that where your light feels dimmed, you're disconnected with your feminine energy, and you have this numbness within you. The
Right.
whole healing process, the whole stages of enlightenment and awakening that opens the floodgates of abundance is what I'm packaging. So
Right.
it's called the eight spiritual secrets to
Oh,
reconnecting with your feminine energy and
I love it.
attracting and opening more abundance into your life. So
That's,
I'm on the pre-launch phase where I've some about maybe over 60 people on the waiting list,
mhm.
crafting and finishing the module. So yeah, that is definitely something that I'm excited about.
Right. Well, it's interesting. The person I relate that to is Shea Robotham, and I noticed today she posted about going to see her horses on a piece of land that she has in Florida. So it was
Mm,
interesting to see another kind of side of her because obviously what she posts about is serious content, and it is a big problem. Narcissistic and bullying tendencies between men and women to men is a really big issue that isn't talked about very much. And
yeah.
so, yeah, I've had some receiving and giving experiences, not always
Mm.
planned, but so yeah, I can relate. I can relate exactly to how just what it feels like when that light is dimmed and closed off very often.
Yes.
It's just not good. You just don't function correctly, and you lose sight that you're under functioning as well because it's very incremental. It's small little pieces over a long period of time, and then you just don't realize how bad it's gotten. So
yeah, and it blocks other areas of your life, the
right.
flow of other areas of your life. And ultimately, you get to this stage in your life, you wonder where you are, who you are, and what you're doing in life.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Yeah, it's like, what am I doing? Where am I? Like, where am I going? Right?
Yes.
What do I do
So,
next? Yeah. Okay. So you mentioned, are you predominantly, is your clientele predominantly women, or do you work with men as well?
so they're impactpreneurs. I seem to attract more women. So I
Mm-hmm.
work mainly with women, but I do have
Okay.
male clients as well that are also creating courses. I'm currently working with a gentleman from Brazil, and I'm so fascinated with his
Cool.
with his yeah, with his mind. Very, very smart, very so much wisdom he has. I could listen to him all day. Really. And now the challenge is, okay, how do we now narrow that down, right? And
Right.
craft that. So yeah, we're
Well,
working on that, and we've had a good start.
yeah.
So
Well,
I do work with male and females, yes, but
Brazilian
predominantly
culture. Yeah, Brazilian culture is very different. So,
actually
well,
he's Portuguese but lives in Brazil.
oh, even more complicated. Yeah, because a lot of people speak Portuguese as well. So anyway, well, cool. So what's the best way? Obviously, I know you're pretty impactful on LinkedIn. So what is that the best way for, if people see this as a replay, feel free to drop any links in the comments after, Veronica. Feel free to do that,
Sure.
and share that with people, share your wisdom. So what's the best way that you prefer people to get in touch with you?
Oh, well, LinkedIn, of course, but also my
Mhm.
website, 𝑣-powercoaching.com.
Okay.
And there are some free resources that you can download to kind of navigate how to craft your course topic or the mindset that you need to really launch successfully. So if these are the things that interest you, definitely check them out.
Right. Okay. Well, awesome. So I know it's late. What time is it there? 1 in the
1 a.m.
morning. Oh, you are a trooper, young lady. I'll tell you.
Oh my
I'm
goodness.
glad you're a night lady, and that you
Glad
were
to
willing
be.
to be up so late. So yeah. So feel free, if you're watching this as a replay, please reach out to Veronica. She is an amazing young lady, and she's got a lot of fun stuff out there. So if you can relate to what she does, or if you're in need of her wonderful course creation guidance, then just check out the V-Power Girl, right?
Thank you, Josh, for inviting me.
Oh, you're welcome. All right. So take care. And if you just hang for a minute, I'll let you
Yep.
know how we can get you everything. Thanks, Gracie, Kenneth, all the people that were watching live. And always appreciate you. And I know I don't always get a chance to answer your questions immediately, but I do religiously go back over the next 24 hours and answer as many questions as I can that I see come up in the feed. So awesome. All right. I'll press the right button here. Hang on.